So before I get started, you have to have the perfect movie watching outfit. So I've got my little pink slippers and we're ready to roll.
My current favorite movie watching attire is this comfy. So my cousins and I got matching ones for Christmas. We haven't done anything together in our comfies yet, but this is a really good movie watching comfy blanket hoodie. It's called a comfy. They're about $40 at Walmart, but I think it's definitely worth it. So welcome back, guys. I'm here today in my comfy and my fuzzy pink slippers. Super cute. I'm gonna talk about my top 5 quarantine favorite movies. So these are all movies that I've just watched recently while being in quarantine. Some of them are new to me, new to the world, or just original classic favorites, and I can't wait to share them. So the first movie I want to talk about is Monsters, Inc. It is my absolute go-to. It is my favorite movie ever. When anyone asks me what my favorite movie is, it is definitely Monsters, Inc. It came out November 2001, so it's really old. I only know that because my dad and I just watched it the other day, and I was wondering if this or Nemo came out first. So thinking back to my childhood years, I was trying to remember what my first movie was in the movie theater. And Dad and I discovered that it was Finding Nemo, which came out in May of 2003. So I know that I have not obviously seen Monsters, Inc. before seeing Nemo. And as a really small child, Monsters, Inc. can kind of be scary just because there are monsters and they come out of your closet. Everyone has a closet, so everyone has a monster, right? The character Boo, who's the child in Monsters, Inc., has her monster, who's Randall, which is this purple iguana sort of thing, except creepier. And he comes out of her closet, and when I was small, I got addicted to Monsters, Inc. I have no idea why. It is still my favorite today. I will watch it endlessly so many times, even though I do love Nemo. I sometimes go back and forth between Nemo or Monsters, Inc., but it's usually Monsters, Inc. And then Monsters University is a pretty good spinoff too. Anywho, so I was terrified of Randall because I thought of myself as Boo. She has the pigtails, she's small, she's cute, she's adorable, and then there's Randall, who is terrifying. And who wouldn't pick Sully? He's so cute. If he was my monster, I wouldn't be afraid either. So I've always loved this movie. It's super adorable, and anytime I want to have a feel-good movie, I've always picked Monsters, Inc. But I do remember when I was a kid that we saw Monsters, Inc. or Disney on Ice, and that was pretty terrifying. And I specifically remember coming home and just being scared of what was in my closet. That could explain why I don't have closet doors now. I'm not entirely sure. I have curtains, but that seems pretty reasonable for a monster not to come poking out of the closet, unless it was this guy. But recently, I just rewatched it. It's been such a classic and such a good one. My dad was like, yeah, we should totally watch that tonight. So we did, and it was a good time. So that has been one of my favorites of quarantine. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. Next up, I have 2 new movies that just came out. So they're not only new to me, but they are new to the world. So the first one that I saw was Onward, and it came out on Disney+. It's a must-see. I've been wanting to see it for a while, even though it is a cartoon. And I'm realizing a lot of my movies that I have on here are cartoon movies, but that's okay. Disney makes some good ones. So it's really cute and really sweet. There's these 2 trolls who grow up, and it's based on Dungeons and Dragons, which my boyfriend is kind of really into right now. It's really cute, I swear. And I recently got introduced to it because of him and through one of my classes at school. We were watching Stranger Things, which includes Dungeons and Dragons, and that kind of got incorporated into this. So I think D&D is having a major comeback with our community today, which is kind of cool to see and would be really interesting to get into. I just don't have a ton of time to get into it and discover that world, but I think the world of imagination and fantasy is super cool. So if you haven't checked it out already, you totally should, and just try and get a feel for it. Just play maybe 1 round or so, and I think you might like it. So Onward is based off of that, and it is kind of different though because it involves mystical creatures, but it's also a cartoon, so they're kind of already there. The two trolls themselves are playing a game that is based on, I forget what it's called in the movie, but it's really cool to see it play out in like their real world. So their dad passed away when they were young children, and there's like this secret magical like powers that will like bring him back for one day. So he gets partially brought back, and then there's all this like conflict that's going on, and they're trying to see their dad. It just makes for a really good story, and in the end, the younger brother realizes that he didn't need his dad all this time, but his older brother brought him up and raised him up to be the man that he has always meant to be. So it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. Even though it was like a little bit sad, it had a really good story and a good overall theme. Okay, the next new movie that just came out is Trolls World Tour. So I had been seeing tons of stuff about Trolls, like commercials for like cereal with the new Trolls like everywhere, and I was like, oh, this must have already came out. It sounded like it was really good. I didn't see it. Even though movie theaters are shut down right now, I got a hold of the new movie, and it was really cool, just because it involved music, and as a music major, I appreciate anything music. And it was Trolls, and back in high school I saw the first Trolls, and it was like my thing. Like, I loved it. I even was so weird and got a coloring book about Trolls. I got it when I was on my way to Spain so I could color on the plane, and I still have it. I know that's totally weird and irrelevant, but it was super cute and it was like my thing. So having a world tour commence and come back was really exciting, just to have like a sequel, and it wasn't one of those like trashy sequels. It was pretty good. So basically there are a bunch of different types of trolls that are in this like realm or like world. So the first movie just included the pop trolls, which are like all the pink guys, the cute little trolls that everybody like knows about. So this movie included like rock trolls, classical music trolls, techno trolls, but they were like underwater kind of creatures, country trolls, and I think that was it. And then out of those 4 or 5 genres, developed into like the yodeling troll, Asian music trolls, things like that, like a bunch of different spin-off varieties. They just didn't have as big as a like nation, if that makes sense. So these rock trolls are trying to come in and take everybody over and just have a world of rock. So there's all this conflict going on. You see all the different musical genres. You see everybody coming together to like defeat the rock trolls, even though rock is pretty good music. So it was kind of cool to just see everybody come together, and then in the end realize that all kinds of music, whether it's different or not, can be accepted and loved and valued. So this 4th movie is new to me. It's definitely an 80s movie. I think it came out in 1986 is what I last read. It's a classic, and they actually just came off with a sequel this year called Maverick. So if you already know this, the first and original movie is Top Gun. So we have this shooting range in the town that I attend college, and it's called Top Gun. And I was like, oh, that's a cool name, but I never understood it. And everybody's like, yeah, Top Gun. And one of my friends now works there, which is super cool. Connections. So then this past week, I've been on like a Jon Bellion like playlist mode. So I'm like just listening to his music, and there's this song called Overwhelming, and he talks about Goose and Maverick and Top Gun. And I'm like, okay, I really like this music, and I get the reference to Top Gun, but I don't understand because I don't even know who Goose and Maverick are. I just know there's a reference there. So for a while now, Sam has been like, babe, you need to watch Top Gun. It's a classic. You would love it. It's got action and it's got romance, because I actually like action movies. I just don't watch them very much, but I love romance movies. Like, that's literally all I watch. It's insane. Like, it's insane. So he was like, you would love this. I even told one of the dads that I babysit for that I've never seen Top Gun, and he was like, Gabby, it's a classic. How have you not seen Top Gun? There's actually a lot of movies that I haven't seen that are like classics. So if you want to put your favorite classic movies in here, you totally should drop it in the comments, because I would love to start a new challenge for myself to watch more classic movies, so I can definitely get in on the references and the lingo and then just enjoy some classics. Yes, I've seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Breakfast Club, Matilda, and things like that, but I haven't seen 16 Candles, any of the Indiana Jones, no Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, it's insane. So if you want to leave a list of movies for me to watch, I would love that. So Top Gun is pretty cool just because it's about flying planes in, I think, the Navy is what they're in. I'm not entirely sure. It's a lot of cool action and adventure, and then you've got the romance of Maverick's like girlfriend sort of thing that's happening, and then you've got the bromance of Goose and Maverick, which is really sweet too. Okay, so during quarantine I have been teaming up with my middle schoolers, and we've been watching movies together on Netflix Watch Party every Saturday. So this has been something that's really exciting for me to not only be a part of with them, but to host it as well. So we've watched Christopher Robin, Mirror Mirror, and my favorite here, my 5th movie of quarantine, is Mary Poppins Returns. So I love this movie, first of all, because the original, the classic with Julie Andrews, is Mary Poppins. So sweet, and the guy who plays Bert, Dick Van Dyke, is actually from the town that my mom grew up in, which is Danville, Illinois. So that is pretty cool. They have like either a gymnasium or a theater that's like dedicated to him, which is pretty cool. Plus, he's still alive and he makes a feature in Mary Poppins Returns. So it's really cool to see Emily Blunt, who is like a fabulous actress. She is in Into the Woods, which is one of my favorite musicals. Like, I love Grease, I love Mamma Mia, but Into the Woods hits different. It is so good. So seeing her just be like a classic staple in this movie is just like really inspiring, and I think young girls should like be influenced by her and be encouraged by her, because she's so talented and she's so brave and so beautiful, and like she just makes you feel good, if that makes sense. So we watched this, and what happened on my memories on Facebook today was that my mom and I yesterday, 2 years ago I think, saw this movie in theaters. So I thought that was really cool and really sweet to just like throw in here, but it's a really good movie, and it's just another take on Mary Poppins. It's just the next generation of when George is raising his kids. Okay, so I couldn't just put movies in here, but I had to include some of my favorite movie snacks. So I know we're not in theaters right now, but some of my favorite drinks include Sprite, Strawberry Punch, which is just Hi-C, but it's strawberry Hi-C. I'm not kidding you, it tastes like the little strawberry Pez guys that like we all grew up on when we were children. They're super tasty. It's definitely sugary and sweet, so I love it. It's very tasty. And third, I have gotten addicted to Dr. Pepper cream soda. So this is a different kind of Dr. Pepper. It doesn't exactly taste like cream soda like A&W's does, how they have root beer and cream soda. This is kind of a relaxed version of Dr. Pepper. In my opinion, I think Dr. Pepper is very tangy. It kind of hurts my taste buds, but when I drink the cream soda version, it's not as intense, and it's kind of calm and soothing. You kind of get hints of the cream soda, but not as much as I thought there would be, but it's really tasty. Okay, any movie that doesn't have popcorn is not a movie. I'm just letting you guys know. So I just have the Act 2 microwavable popcorn. I usually get the movie butter kind, which is super buttery. I'm not sure what kind this is, but it's pretty tasty. You just pop it in your microwave for like 2 to 3 minutes. Keep an eye on it, because if you don't, it's gonna burn. And trust me, nobody likes burnt popcorn. Snacks. So snacks are kind of always different with me. It depends if I want something chocolatey or something sweet. So my favorite snack of all time, favorite candy of all time, is Starburst. So I love the pink kind. Here, I'm gonna just put it in order. I like pink, red, yellow, and then orange. Nobody likes orange. So if I could just have a whole bag of pink, I would totally do that. But those are sometimes expensive, and when you can just get a little small one here. All you have to do is throw away the orange and you're good. Another sweet kind of candy is Skittles. So Skittles are a must-have. They're almost like M&Ms, but not chocolatey. So if I had to do a chocolate version, I would definitely do M&Ms, but I don't have any here at the house, so Skittles will just have to do. Now, my chocolate favorites, besides M&Ms, since I don't have them, Reese's Pieces. So you can never go wrong with Reese's. I mean, who doesn't like peanut butter and chocolate? Well, unless you have allergies. But these are some of my faves in my house because no one does have allergies. But they're really good, really small, and if you put them in your ice cream, they're even better. Another chocolate favorite that I literally grew up on, they would always be in the aisle at Joann's after my mom and I had gone craft shopping, and she'd always let me get one, are Cowtails. So they're kind of like caramely and vanilla-y. I know they have like the strawberry kind and like the actual chocolate kind, but this kind is caramel. It's a classic. It says chewy caramel with a cream center. So it's pretty much sugar, milk, soy, and a whole lot of corn syrup. And another fun one that's really simple is Nerds. You can't go wrong with Nerds, and all you have to do is throw it back. So I hope you guys enjoyed my top 5 quarantine movies and the snacks plus my comfy and piggy slippers. I would love to hear more from you guys on what movies to watch, what snacks you enjoy, and what you're currently watching. Have a great day, guys.